Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And just like that, we kick off the Christmas week edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. My goodness gracious, where has the time gone? We are in Christmas week, heading to New Year's week, and then ready to kick off 2025. Hi, everybody. Glad you're with us here on a Monday. We are at our Monday home. You know it by now, Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Icebreakers Bar and Grill inside the Community First Igloo. You know it. You pass it. You see it, you look over when you are on I-95 at the Emerson exit. You kind of peek over and you see that big wall, that big sign that says Community First Igloo. Well, yes, it is a big old, wonderful sports complex indoors with 2 full-size ice skating rinks. And, of course, the Jacksonville Icemen, they have their corporate offices, about 40 or 50 feet right over there. The Iceman corporate offices. Their home is right here. Their practice facility right here, and of course they play their games down at the arena. Hi, everybody. Terry Norvelle kicking it off. Man, we have a lot of stuff to review and preview, as it was a busy weekend of college and professional sports last weekend, and we will head into not so much this coming weekend, but a little past this coming weekend, because we will have college football. They don't go this weekend. The college guys will then go December 31st, New Year's Eve, and then New Year's Day. We'll talk about all that. How did we get to where we're at? 4 games were played in the college playoff. Not the most riveting, exciting games in the history of college football. We'll talk about those games that got played, got put in the books, who moves on, who may or may not have deserved to be playing in the games, and then where does college football go from here? We'll talk about that. The NFL wrapped up a busy week yesterday. I guess there's a game tonight, but the NFL coming down the home stretch, not that many playoff spots still open, but a few, and some really riveting division chases, especially, Minnesota and Detroit. They've tracked each other all year. Thank goodness the schedule played out where they play at the end of the season. We'll talk about that. And, of course, we cannot go any further without talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. A ugly football game yesterday between two bad – there's no way to cut it, slice it, dice it. That was a football game in Las Vegas yesterday between 2 bad football teams, really bad football teams. And I know this will rile a lot of fan base up for the Jaguars. It will also have a lot of the fan base for the Jaguars say, preach on, my man. What I'm going to bring up is one of the problems that the NFL has, and I'm not so sure there's a way to solve this problem. Sometimes things just are because they are, if you know what I mean. Yesterday's Jacksonville Jaguars lost to the Raiders. The Raiders are a bad football team. My God, that is a bad football team. What does that tell you about the Jacksonville Jaguars? But the Jaguars was yesterday, the Jacksonville Jaguars perspective, from the perspective of the Jacksonville Jaguars, was yesterday's game against the Las Vegas Raiders, was it a classic end of season NFL loss-win? Let me say it again, loss-win. Let me say it one more time. Was yesterday, if you step back and you look at the absolute disaster that the Jacksonville Jaguar franchise is right now, the deep hole that they're in right now, trying to get out of that deep hole, was yesterday's, 1914 Raiders win. From the Jaguars' perspective, was that a loss win? I think it is. And this is, the NFL's got it pretty much wired. The NFL really, really, really knows what the hell they're doing in most cases. Some things they just can't control. I'll tell you one thing. The NFL cannot right now control. The NFL has tried for 2, maybe 3 decades to increase the total number of quality quarterbacks in their league. And they can't get past about 20. Right? Every single year, we have franchise, if you rated them 1 through 32, best franchises, best roster, best team going to the worst. Every year, the NFL, for 2 or 3 decades now, they can run out about 20, 21 good quarterbacks. They struggle with 10 or 12 quarterbacks, which, in my opinion, tells you the NFL better slow their roll with regard to expanding internationally or locally, because you don't have enough quarterbacks to go around. There's nothing uglier in the NFL than watching an NFL game with non-quality level NFL quarterback play. That's where they're at. That's number one. The secondary thing I think the NFL wrestles with, and I'm not sure there's an easy answer, and it's what the Jaguars are going through right now. And every year, at least 2 or 3 franchises go through this, and I don't know what the answer is. You could cut it, slice it, dice it any way you want it. Starting probably last week, this week, and the next 2 weeks, a franchise that is sitting where the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise is sitting, winning games is not good. The Jaguars, you can say what you want, and don't give me culture and locker room and win one for the Gipper, and we're going to all lock arms in the locker room when we win, we, the Jaguars. When we beat the Raiders yesterday, if they did, which they didn't, and we're going to lock arms and we could sing Kumbaya, and then we get on the plane and we get our little juicy juice meals, and we say, everybody getting on the plane, flying back to Jacksonville, you all get a participation trophy and a winner. You're all win. BS. This is one of the fallacies or problems with the NFL, and I don't know what the answer is. There's nothing positive coming from the Jacksonville Jaguars as a franchise as a whole. Not an individual trying to show off, but as a whole, there is nothing. And frankly, yesterday there was nothing to be gained by the Raiders winning that game. The Raiders ended up going from 2-6. If the draft was held before they kicked off yesterday, the Raiders would have drafted second. If the draft is held today, right now as we sit, the Raiders would draft sixth. The Jaguars moved up to third. If the draft was held right now, and you know what? When you're really bad, like the Jaguars, you need the 1 of 1. I've preached it. You need 1 of 1. But that's another problem the NFL has, and I don't know how you fix it. There's nothing beneficial to winning these last few games if you're the Giants, if you're the Raiders, if you're the Jaguars. What an ugly, ugly football game. I think we've got Patrick Young on. I think I heard Patrick stirring around. Are you stirring around? What are you doing, Patrick Young? Hey, man, good call. I know it was a tough game. You were on the call for the Gators Basketball game over the weekend. Boy, that's a tough type of game when one team beats another by 45, isn't it? You can't talk
Yeah.
strategy. That was tough, wasn't it?
Well, I think they beat him by 54, not 44.
Gosh darn, that's tough, man. I watched it and listened to you. You did a good job. Who was your broadcast partner? I can't remember his name.
Oh, that was James Westling.
Yeah,
First time I met him.
Y'all did a good job, man. Y'all did a good job. Those are and you've done enough sports now.
And look, Terry, you know how this is. The last 7 minutes, 8 minutes of the game, it's over. So, we got to find. I'm just throwing out other things I can think of for us to have conversation with about.
And they're throwing guys on the they're throwing guys on the court. They're throwing Terry Norvelle, who's
it was so hard to talk.
I'm the
it was
ball
so
boy.
hard to talk in a positive spin that last 7 minutes for UNF, because they're supposed to be the number one 3-point shooting team in the country.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for them to find anything.
And I heard you guys, UNF has really had a good pre-conference schedule, and they've won some big games. UNF has knocked off Georgia Tech and South Carolina, but they caught Florida. I mean, Florida just blitzed them at the beginning. And
did you ever see? And my mom and grandma were watching when Coach Driscoll is on the bench with his head down.
Patrick, he just
just like that.
Yes, I saw.
You know what's so funny, Terry? I wish you would have texted me earlier, because I didn't think about it in terms of how that, that's a paid game. That's we pay you to come here and play.
Yeah.
And you're like, and Terry said, "It's all right, Coach. That check still clears."
Yeah, it still clears, man. Hey,
still good.
Florida won by like 54 points. Florida is really good. They moved up to 6th in the country in the poll that came out today.
Well,
you guys mentioned UNF's. They've beaten an SEC and an ACC team this year. UNF has tip of the hat. Hell, JU's beaten an ACC team. UNF's starting star player was out. How good is he? UNF was minus their best player. How good is he, Josh? I think his name is Josh.
I'll tell you this: he's good enough that it's going to be hard for Coach Driscoll to keep him.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't seen him. I don't know if he's NBA great yet, but he's definitely a high major program.
And UNF, and you guys talked about this during the game. UNF lost their great shooter to Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee, the number one team in the nation.
Blame him?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, and look, as you're about to say, Tennessee's number one team in the country right now.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't always work out for guys. Like, do you remember Michi Johnson?
Yes, I did.
From South Carolina.
Good player.
He goes away and gives what would have been the keys to the program for him at staying at South Carolina. He would have been the man. He already was.
Yeah.
Goes to Ohio State. For one, Ohio State, they stink.
Yeah.
But he goes to Ohio State to be the fourth guy.
Wow. Be careful.
I know, right?
Yeah, be careful.
Grass isn't always greener. Be careful. Absolutely.
No. Hey, Patrick, you watched the Jaguars yesterday. Two bad teams playing in Las Vegas. Neither team seemed like they wanted to win the game. The Jaguars lose by a few points. What were your overall thoughts? I've got a couple thoughts of things I saw that were so Jaguar. But, yeah, by the way, the Raider Nation right now, the word is Raider Nation. They're not happy that they won that game. They're looking at draft order. The Raiders went from 2nd to 6th if the draft was today. Now, there's 2 more weeks. I get it. But what'd you see yesterday? What'd you see? I mean,
just two really bad teams. But, I mean, it was nice seeing how the ball was getting into the hands of Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
As well as Brian Thompson. He dropped the touchdown, though.
Yeah, he did.
He caught wide open one, but there was another ball that he dropped.
Yeah.
That would have certainly been a touchdown he's on the cusp of being he has the potential to be the best receiver ever in Jacksonville.
And he's a really talented kid.
With his speed,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keep in mind, obviously, the best receiver in the history of Jacksonville is Jimmy Smith, one of the best players. One of the best players in the history of the Jaguars. Don't forget what Jimmy Smith had around him. He had a nice offensive line to give his quarterback time. He had guys like Tony Baselli and Leon Searcy blocking for him.
Yeah,
right?
big Searcy.
He then had a quarterback, Mark Brunell, that could deliver the ball.
Could build on plays by using his feet a little bit if Mark had to.
Absolutely. And Jimmy, as great as Jimmy was, he also had a number 2 amigo named Keenan McCardell that could take some stress off of him. Here's Brian Thomas Jr.
So you have an issue with Gabe Davis?
You don't think Gabe Davis is Keenan McCardell?
He's not Keenan McCardell, no.
Yeah, and you don't think Walker Little, who went out injured, or Anton Harrison, you don't think that's Baselli, Leon Searcy given time? Yeah. So as good as Jimmy was, and he was great. BTR's got to have some help. I mean, you got to have some help, man. And right now, that Jaguar team, and Patrick, there's no way to get around it. I hate to say it, but if you really break it down, if you're the Jaguars, you want to lose for the good of your franchise. You want to lose the next couple of games.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
It's terrible, isn't it? The way that happens.
I don't like. It's the obvious choice. Like what you were saying right when I got on. What are you playing for?
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's football, and you like. I don't know how else to break this down, because
I know
if you want to win, if you want to not be in this same position, you have to lose these games to get the best pick.
Isn't that terrible? You almost have to. You want to, as an individual wearing the jersey, you want to play good, because there's an eye in the sky, man. Everything's on tape. So you can't dog it. You don't want to dog it, but you want to play well individually. But for the whole, for the franchise, there's no arguing. Why would you? What's the benefit to win 2 more games and draft 11th instead of lose 2 more games and draft 2nd? I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it's honestly, Terry, it could be a fireable offense. It could be.
Yeah,
that's what it was for. It wasn't Tubby Smith. Maybe it was with the Texans. Yes, it was. He won the last game of the season, and they fired him.
Yeah,
they lost the number 1 pick, but I think, gosh, who did they get? It wasn't C.J. Stroud yet. No, it wasn't last year. I think that happened 3 or 4 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that? Yeah, he won a game that he wasn't supposed to win, and obviously the GM and owner understands if we want to fix our current stinking stance.
Yeah. Very nice.
Stinkum stance came up
very
with that.
Nice, Patrick. That's nice.
You got to get guys you can really those one-on-ones, man.
Yeah. Hey, Pat, I got
a lot of those.
I got to point this out. Yesterday, there was a couple of situations in the game, and I'm going to describe them. I think you'll remember them. There were a couple situations where I literally I was shaking my head and put my hand in my head like Matt Driscoll did with UNF basketball.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how about this? Okay, and this is documented. You can go look it up in the box score. You might have remembered it when you watched the game. How does this happen to any franchise unless you're the Jacksonville Jaguars? Okay, first quarter, Eric Armstead, a free agent who's played 10 years in the NFL, 10-year veteran defensive lineman, okay? He gets called for lining up, not jumping, but for lining up offsides, okay? Flag goes down as the play plays out. They decline the Raiders declined the penalty because they had a big gain. But Patrick, He lined up offsides, a 10-year veteran. The very next play, Patrick, he lines up about a mile offsides and gets another flag. They turn it down because they gained 13 yards. He has back-to-back offsides penalties. Okay, that's in the first quarter.
I got to look this up.
Patrick, in the second quarter, back-to-back plays, you had Trayvon Walker and Hines Allen. They go offsides, back-to-back. How do you have not one but two back-to-back plays where you line up offsides? How does that happen? For God's sakes, Patrick Young, when all you have to do is look down the line of scrimmage and see the football. How does that happen?
Yeah, I'm getting real with it. Eric Armstead has been in the league since 2015 and was flagged twice for lining up offsides versus the Raiders.
In a row.
Grade D for his performance this season, and grade F to GM Trent Baalke for signing him in free agency.
Oh, my God.
Sheesh.
He's been in the league 10 years. He went back-to-back lining up offsides. How do you do that? And, Patrick, the one time he lined up offsides, he must have been 3 feet past the line of scrimmage. Patrick,
like his head's just way past. Yeah, man.
Yes. You're like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, man, how about, gosh, looking at the NFL, the rest of the league that yesterday, and then we can obviously get into college because man, that was a heck of a weekend. I don't know where to start with the NFL. I mean,
what about the Redskins coming back? Or what have you called them? The Commanders. That was crazy, wasn't it? The way they came back.
Five touchdowns. Did you know that rapper Rod Wave, which I think you worked the concert, right?
I did the setup, for him the other night. He was in town,
Did you know he called? I don't know how he got in contact or whatever, but he got in contact with Bryce Young after Bryce got benched and gave him just this random pep talk.
What?
Bryce never met him before. I don't think, and knowing Bryce, I don't even think Bryce really listens to his kind of music. He might, but I mean, he definitely listens to his music now. I'll tell you that.
What?
And then since then, Bryce Young has attested that is what changed. So I say that about Rod Wave. Rod Wave is from Jacksonville.
Yeah. How about that?
He attests his turnaround of his career. That phone call from Rod Wave, randomly, never met each other before.
Hey, can Rod Wave? Can he talk to Mac Jones? Can he talk to Harrison? Can he talk to can he talk to Gabe Davis? Can he talk to? Hey, by the way, being serious for a moment, that was not a good time to have another fumble if you're Tank Bigsby. You're trying to, you and ETN are fighting out for that number one spot. That was an ugly fumble, and now it may not be fair, Patrick. But Bigsby now is labeled a fumbler, right? Yeah. He's fumbled enough, and I hate it for the guy because I like him.
There's only one of his fumbles that I'm like, I give, because the dude, it was early in this season. It was on a kick return. He got mollywopped, and I think he got hit so hard, I think he was out the rest of the game.
Yeah. I remember that.
It was one of those hits where I'm like, golly, I'm so glad I didn't play football.
How fun is it to say the word mollywop? Isn't that great?
Mollywop.
Mollywop.
That's a real word. So is kerfuffle.
No, that's a good word.
Cattywampus is a real word.
That's dirty. That's just dirty is what that is. That's just dirty.
Titillating?
That's even dirtier.
It is a dirty one. It is.
That's dirty. Is your mother around? Quit talking like that, young man. Your mother's in that house. Right?
But it's titillating.
It is. All right, pal, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to college football. Not the most competitive games, but we've moved on from round 1 to round 2. We'll talk some ice hockey with Alex Reed in a little bit. And then hour number 2, Brent Beard.
SMU, man.
Yeah, SMU. And what about the Florida Gators? They have creeped up to number 6. In the
Alabama, you're telling me Alabama wouldn't have been a way better game against Penn State?
We'll talk about it.
Oh, the
But
guys.
on the other side, he's Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Monday edition, always from Icebreakers Bar and Grill. As Open Skate is behind us, they are having a big time at the Igloo, the Community First Igloo right off of Emerson.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Hey, back live here at the Igloo, the Community First Igloo. That is the name of the massive facility here off of Emerson. Of course, we are inside Icebreakers Bar and Grill, the wonderful big old sports bar. Boy, they had a big Christmas party going on last time we were here, and it's just a fun. Patrick, I don't know if you can see behind me. I'm telling you, I think because of the holiday and the number of northern people that have moved down here, Patrick, there must be 200 people skating, open skates on, and a lot of people off
What's
today.
the capacity supposed to be at?
I don't know, but there's open skate going on behind me. There must be 200 people, and they made them get off the air off the ice about 10 minutes before we went on the air because they took the Zamboni to smooth it out again. And dude, these people, they were like fighting to get back on that ice, like like they were trying to get front row at a damn a Rolling Stones concert, general admission. Man, dude, nobody's work. If you live up north and you've moved down south, down here to Jacksonville, nobody's working. They're here on this ice, Patrick. They're skating their little tails off around this place, man. It's unreal. It is unreal. Welcome back. Patrick Young is right there. I'm Terry Norvelle. We'll talk some ice hockey, Jacksonville Icemen ice hockey in a little bit, and then Brent Beard in hour number 2. Patrick, the 4 college football playoff games really did not live up to riveting TV. And that has opened things up too. Did the committee mess up, or were the 4 teams that won, were they just that much better? What was your overall? Just give me some of your thoughts.
Well, we can't look past, home field advantage.
Yeah, sure.
What's the incentive? And I'm trying to think, is there a way to fix that without more just bowl random locations?
Yeah.
But if you get the higher seating, that's
you deserve something.
You're supposed to have some type of advantage for being
you deserve something, don't you? Yeah. I mean, you deserve something.
Isn't being the number 1 seed enough?
Yeah. My first thought is, I'm not ready to bury the entire committee because, I don't agree with committees. I don't think college football needs a committee. I think you need to look at the NFL, and we may be 10 years away from college football mirroring the NFL does it by wins and losses on the field, okay? That's how college football needs to get. I think we're still 5 to 10 years away, unfortunately, from you qualify by winning enough games, win your division, win your conference. That's how the NFL does. The NFL has no committees. Okay, put that aside. I will say the way the NFL does their postseason is as close to the right way as you can get, right? They do it by on field. Now, the NFL does it as close as you can get to doing it the right way, and they still have terrible postseasons. I mean, there have been many wild card rounds that are terrible in the NFL. Hell, Patrick, I even looked it up today, and I've got facts to back it up. The NFL does it as close to right as you can do it. Think about their Super Bowls. There have been many Super Bowls that have been dog games. I mean, 35-10, 33-14, 24-3, 38-9, 46-10, 39-20, 42-10, 55-10, 52. I could go on and on. Patrick, there have been many NFL playoff seasons where the games have been dogs. Sometimes it just happens. Was that this case? I don't know. Should Indiana have been in? Probably not. Did Tennessee?
My only thing, and I want you to keep going. Strength of schedule is something that has to be. That should. What do you think? Be the deal breaker, like the tiebreaker?
You know what,
if
Patrick?
these 2 teams have the same number of wins.
Yes.
Let's make that strength of schedule the deal breaker or the tiebreaker.
The number of wins. Man, you nailed it, in my opinion. If you're not going to, quit telling me strength of schedule is part of the criteria if you're not going to use it. And, Patrick, they don't use it. They don't. You know what? You know what the strength of schedule is right now? I'll give you a little correlation. You're going to laugh at me for saying this, but I'm going to give you a correlation. It sounds good when the committee says, well, you know what? One of the criteria is strength. That sounds good. It also sounds good, Patrick, when on a dating site you say, well, she may not be the prettiest girl, but she's got a great personality. Okay, listen, the got a great personality That's wonderful, but I'm never going to choose her because she's got a great personality. Okay? If you're not going to use that, then kick the great personality out. Patrick, until they start using strength of schedule, kick it out. They don't use it, Patrick. That's the problem. They like to talk. They talk it.
And I think, and I understand the frustrations for, a lot of different coaches because, some of them had bad losses, but those bad losses, like Ole Miss blowing out South Carolina, Ole Miss losing to Kentucky at home.
Yeah. Alabama got beat at a very average Oklahoma. Okay, but they also beat Georgia. They also beat
head scratcher, but
Alabama beat Georgia.
Oklahoma and SMU, that's a good bowl game, not a college playoff bowl game, in my opinion.
Yeah, man,
I would love to see those two teams play.
I mean, Indiana has played two good teams this year, Ohio State and Notre Dame, and they did not compete for one play. Not one play.
Man, I knew it was so funny. I knew it was over. Marcus Freeman was over there. Something happened. He over there smiling. And it was like in the third quarter.
I remember that.
In the third, I was like, dang, man, he is so he knows his. And he just got paid and he just got an extension.
I'll give Tennessee. I'm picking them out now, and you can pick any of the four games you'd like to as well. I'm going to give Tennessee a bit of a break. They got beat 42-17. You know what? I text my buddy Jeff Kendall, who's a big Tennessee fan, after the game, and I said, Jeff, I'm going to break it down as basic as I can. I text him this. I said, I just think Ohio State was that much better than Tennessee. Sometime the team is that much better. I think Tennessee's pretty good, but they just ran. But Indiana.
How many 3 and outs are only like 4 plays or 5? Like the first few drives for Nico.
Yeah,
it's like, man, they've used, in that first quarter, it's like, man, they've barely used a minute or two off the clock in possession time
and handed it back.
Ohio State's defense was flying around like crazy.
Yeah.
And I think, do you think he had a concussion? Man, he had to have a minor concussion, man.
You would think.
His helmet.
I know. How about the helmet get cracked?
You can't tell me he didn't his brain didn't hit against the skull or whatever. Come on now.
And we'll get into this a little bit later with Brent Beard, now we're number 2. I'm gonna pick on Tennessee a little bit here. If I was a Tennessee fan, my biggest concern sitting here on December 23rd at 4:37 Eastern Standard Time, my biggest concern if I was a Tennessee fan is Nico. And here's what I mean about Nico, the quarterback. Patrick, I watched him all year, like you did, like we all did. I don't think he got any better. I think Nico was the same guy when he took a snap game 1. You look at a guy like Lagway. Lagway is learning the game and he's getting better. Nico looks like the same guy that I watched game 1 that I watched game 13. That's my concern with Nico in Tennessee.
Yeah, he didn't play good. Not at all, where you could even see him making some good reads or just doing something that's even executing the simple things. And that's why I do wonder, for one, if that hit did affect him, and if it didn't. It's a little disappointing for sure. But look how good this Tennessee team around him is, though. That
sure.
Just imagine if he does get better. Get a lot better, Terry. What that, I don't know how many guys they're bringing back next year, but I would like to think there's not going to be a big drop off.
Yeah, and the other thing that really killed Tennessee, they needed a healthy Sampson, the running back, and he only went 4 or 5. They weren't, and I didn't know he was going to be that limited in that game. He only played like 4 or 5 snaps. Dylan Sampson, they really needed him, and you can't just predict an injury. He was injured. I mean, I feel bad for the kid, but he was injured. I'll tell you another game that, and I know Penn State beat SMU pretty bad, but if you watch the game, Penn State's offense didn't do much basically until the game was out of hand. Penn State scored Their first 2 touchdowns on interception returns for touchdowns. I don't know if you saw the beginning of that game. SMU's first possession, they went straight down the field. They faced a 4th and 2 from the Penn State 15. They went for it instead of kicking a field goal. They rolled the quarterback Jennings out. He could have army crawled to the first down, but he decided to throw a pass to the tight end in the end zone, and it was a terrible pass, incomplete, and nothing went right the rest. You wonder if SMU had scored that first drive. You wonder what would have happened in that game. And I know they got bombed in the game. I get that. They got bombed. But,
he really could have just ran for that first down. Like, he could have gotten to it.
Yeah, he could have bunny hopped to the first down, but he said, let me throw it to the tight end, and he threw a terrible pass. It was incomplete, and the game was over. And the game was over there.
And the game's over, just like that.
Yeah, the game was over. What did you make of you feel bad a little bit because Kurt Cignetti, the coach at Indiana, he's a type A personality. He's a little arrogant. He is at Indiana, but oh my God, they did not even compete against Notre Dame. And I didn't think Notre Dame was great. I don't think Notre Dame's a great football team. Indiana just did not compete. Pat, did you see much of that game? It was a real buzzkill.
But I was definitely disappointed.
Yeah, but it was a buzzkill Friday. What was that, Friday night? Yeah, that was a Friday night game. Ooh.
Yeah, I did watch some of it. Yeah, I sure did. Riley Leonard, and it's still hard for me to say, is he really that much better than he was last year, or is it the competition?
Yeah.
But if he really is that good, they might be legitimate to beat Georgia for sure. I think they could if we got to see what Gunnar Stockton's going to look like.
Yeah.
Obviously, and what was really cool, that first drive that Gunnar had against Texas, I mean, just marched the ball down the field for a touchdown. So
how about that?
I know, right? He can. I like quarterbacks that are dual threat, man. And how about this? If Gunnar Stockton has to ever come out of the game for anything,
Rashada
in comes
Rashada. It's got to be Rashada, right? He'd be the next guy out. Speaking of Texas, I know the game ended up a 14-point game. I think the final was 38-24. I thought Clemson and Texas was a fun game. I enjoyed that game. Texas was better, and they won by 14 going away. Patrick,
I wanted Texas to blow them out so badly.
No, I was impressed with Clemson. Clemson played well.
I wanted both ACC schools to look garbage. Yeah.
But didn't you think Clemson played well? I thought Clemson played well.
Yeah, they did. They played a lot better.
Even though they got beat by 14, I thought it was a much closer game.
They just don't have enough horses.
Yeah.
To hang. I don't know if his recruiting's down or his recruiting style is changed.
Maybe.
He made a kind of firm stance of not using the transfer portal as much as other programs are. Dabo Swinney did. And I respect him making that decision, but, this is what can happen.
Yeah. I enjoyed that game. I thought Clemson played hard. It was a good game. I thought Texas was clearly the better team. And we can ask Brent Beard this in hour number 2. But, Patrick, I'll throw it to you. And I'm going to ask you to get in my head, even though that's hard to do.
No, it's not.
I watch.
I live in your head rent-free every day.
Rent-free every day. I know, Patrick, I've seen, just like you and everybody else in the world, I've seen Georgia beat Texas twice. Now, I've seen Georgia with Carson Beck beat Texas twice, basically. I get that. But I still wonder, Patrick, when I watch everybody play, why do I think Texas is still the best team I've seen all year? I'm impressed with them. Those running backs. And I know Georgia's beat them twice. And if they played again, I would take Texas, I think. And if they played again, by the way, it would be in the championship game. They're in different brackets. They're in different brackets.
I don't know, man.
I still think Texas is the best team going. I don't know why.
Well, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't know how many Oregon games I watched. I didn't watch enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I haven't seen a lot of Oregon.
Yeah, like I would.
That's a great point.
That's the only team where I'm
That's
just
a great
like,
point.
are they really this legit? Like, because if so, I mean, they don't have one scare, and it was against Ohio State, which is a good team. We see that,
And they
now.
get them
Like,
again. And they get them
dang.
again.
They
How about
got them again?
That's who they play next.
Oh my gosh, what a perfect matchup, man.
Hey, how about Oregon?
Oh, what a perfect matchup.
Oregon has been the second half of the season the consensus number one team in the nation. How about they draw their first playoff game is in the Rose Bowl against Ohio State? How about that?
Wow. That's awesome, man.
How about that? Right? Ooh, that's tough for Oregon, right? By the way, Ohio State is one of those scary teams because they haven't played their best game yet. You can look at Ohio State, and even the other night, they played good. I didn't think they played their best game yet, even against Tennessee. Ohio State's sitting on a good game.
But, I mean, defensively, they just were – oh, man, but they started – the way that Howard started the game out
I know.
with those long balls,
I
was like, dang, all right, everything I said about him, he might be a little bit better than
Yeah. So here's the setup. By the way, the next round of games, Patrick, are not this weekend. They're the following Tuesday, Wednesday. So there's more than a week between games now. They don't play this Saturday. I don't know if you're aware of that. I don't know if most people are aware. The next round of college football playoff games are not tomorrow, Tuesday. Next Tuesday, the 31st, you've got the Fiesta Bowl, one game, Boise State, Penn State. Then next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, January 1st, you have Peach Bowl, 1 o'clock, Arizona State, Texas. You have Rose Bowl, 5 o'clock, Oregon, Ohio State. You have Sugar Bowl, 8:45, Georgia, Notre Dame. Did you realize that? I don't think a lot of people realize there are not college football games this weekend. They don't play this weekend. Weird. Yeah.
Why?
They play because they wanted to be on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and that falls midweek.
Got you. So that means we're going to have NFL games during
Saturday and Sunday.
Sunday, not anything
alone.
Wednesday, actually.
Alone.
Dang.
Yeah, they don't play.
The Chiefs and Steelers play Wednesday?
No. Is that right?
On Christmas Day. They just played yesterday.
Christmas Day. Okay. Yeah, how about that?
Oh, my God. And the Ravens and Texans.
How about that?
They just played yesterday.
Remember, we kidded around during the offseason. The NFL's taking over everything. They're taking over Christmas Day. They're taking everything.
This is messed up. That's messed up.
How about that?
So, there's games on Christmas Day, 2 games. Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, Texans, 1 game Thursday, Seahawks, Bears.
How about that?
3 games on the 28th. Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Bengals, Cardinals, Rams.
How about that?
Then, wow.
Well, let me ask you this, Patrick.
Be kidding me.
I
can't believe that.
If you have it in front of you, because I do not, does it show, are some of those games in the NFL, like you have to have Prime or Amazon or these special?
Yes. The games on Wednesday, both of those are on Netflix. Then you got some on Prime Video.
Netflix.
Yeah, the Wednesday games are on Netflix.
I wouldn't know how to even.
And they're going to be good games. The Chiefs and the Steelers.
Oh my gosh!
The Steelers up in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers. They're back-to-back losses. And then the Ravens and Texans, that's a big-time game.
Oh, that's huge!
That could be a future playoff game.
Or seeding. That could be a big seeding game.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick, if those games are on in Netflix, let me tell you how I'm going to watch those games. I'm going to have to get on my phone and call my daughter. Hey, Kendall, can you walk me? How do I get to Netflix? I just want to turn on the TV.
You don't have look, Terry.
I've got it, but I just don't know how to get
one of these remotes.
it.
Do you have one of these remotes?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I just hit Netflix.
You can't read it or see it because
I
it's
see
blurry.
the white one. Does that say Netflix?
But this white one, is the Netflix button. That's all you got to press.
But you know what? Let me tell you something, Patrick. That works for other people. If I hit that, I swear to God, Patrick, technology doesn't work for me like it does other people. If I hit that button, nothing's going to happen when I get home.
That's
Somehow,
not true.
I'm telling you, Patrick, it doesn't work for me. Technology hates me, Patrick.
No.
It hates me. And I hate it right back. I hate it right back.
No.
It does. It does. Patrick, it really does. Hey, what's your next TV basketball game? Do you know yet?
Stetson game.
Oh, when is that game?
That is on the 29th. It's on a Sunday.
Sunday. And then conference play, right, for the Gators?
Yeah. Conference play.
last
My first game with the SEC is January 7th. So still got a good amount of time.
Who do you have January 7th? Is that your show?
Oh, I mean, if I'm in studio, it's got
that's
it's gonna be whatever teams are playing.
Okay,
so I'll
that's
be there every Tuesday and Wednesday until first week of March.
Oh man, that's great, man. That is great. So that starts on the 7th.
Yep.
7, 8. So
yeah, I counted it out. It's as of now, without thinking of the postseason, it's 9 trips.
I love it.
That's
I
it.
love it.
9 trips.
So let me ask you this: Are like with regard
how's
to
your dog doing, by the way, Terry? How's Penny?
man, great, dude. She's great, man.
Great, right?
Oh man, she's a mess, man. She's
How old is she?
Penny is about between 6 and 7 years old, we think.
Okay.
She's grown. Yeah, she's grown, and man, she's got a routine now at the house. I wake up about 6. She's ready to go out. She goes out and does her business in about 30 seconds, and then it's breakfast time. She wants her breakfast. She wants some breakfast, Patrick.
Are you doing that fresh pet or the kibble or mixing or what you doing?
Yeah, we do something called I do something called, I think it's fresh pet or something like that. I get a special, pet something, fresh pet, I think. And and I give her too many
honestly,
treats.
I believe in the stuff because all the kibble, that super processed stuff, man, it's got preservatives in it. That it's not good for us. It can't be good for dogs either.
Yeah. But Patrick, I don't know about like Decker, but like my dog Penny, man, she's learned me. I've only had her like 4 months. She knows me now. She works me hard, man. She looks at me and and she works me for treats like crazy. I'm like, all right. Dude, she works me. How do they do that, Patrick? She works me for treats.
I think because they just sit so patiently, like, and they just won't.
Yes.
They don't get tired. They don't feel like they're staring. They don't feel like that's
they are staring right at you,
they're
man.
staring dead at you, locked in. But dogs don't know what staring is. It's coming from just an innocent place.
I honestly can tell you this morning. Okay, I get up. I'm an early riser. I get up 5:45, 6 o'clock, whatever. I get up, and Penny can hear me, so I have to get up. I put my robe on, right? I walk downstairs. I take Penny outside. She does her business. I feed her breakfast, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. And she's quick about everything, man. She's ready to eat. Patrick, I get squared away, right? I jump in the shower by 9 o'clock this morning, Patrick. 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm sitting at my computer, right, on my desk in my computer, right, and I'm working on the show. I'm putting it all together. I'm feeling, and dude, just what you said, Patrick. I look over and there's Penny sitting 2 feet away from me, like a statue.
Man.
Hey, just looking at me.
Gosh.
Just looking at me, and I'm like, "Hey, sweetie," and I'm like, I try to ignore her, and then she's looking at me. And you know what she wants? She basically has on her forehead, "Get me a treat." Yes. I want a treat. I'm like, Penny, you just had breakfast. You know what I did, Patrick? I went downstairs. I got her a treat.
You got her a treat.
Yes. How's your dog doing?
He's doing pretty good, actually. I mean, for the most part, he sometimes isn't interested in his dog food, but gosh, people food, man. So he. As of now, because we think we don't know how much time we have with him. We're just letting him do whatever he wants.
Let him do anything he wants. Anything.
My mom, she'll be like, because he doesn't hear well, for one.
Yeah.
And then 2, he's old, so he's stubborn.
So are you.
Like you tell him, hey man, go Decker, go back, go to your pillow. He just looks. He just stands there and like, ha. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
This is my house. I'm not leaving. And the problem is he always stands in the way. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest one. The dog has no sense of space. If he
Space.
could like go off to the side and chill in the room with us, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But my man got to be in the middle.
Right in the way. Right in the, hey, are y'all getting him some Christmas presents? Does he get Christmas presents? Or is every day a Christmas?
So.
Every day
it's hard, man. He's not interested in it as much. It'd probably be something he just would stay up and chew like a bone, or if we did. I think that's something he would.
I'm getting my girl.
So
I'm getting my girl a new bed. She needs. I'm gonna buy it here and there. She needs a new fluffy bed. And
I think two things. One, I think that you've seen those elevated. I've seen that it's very good for the dog. So it's an elevated dog bed.
Yeah.
And then there's these elevated holders for their bowls. So it's apparently over time it's not good for them to
lean over. Yeah.
All that far. So
yeah.
Is she one thing? And does Penny eat like just it's gone in 5 seconds?
Well, it's funny you said that. Penny's not that bad, but Kendall's dog Renji, who I was my boy for a long time until Kendall moved out. We had to get that special bowl, and y'all have one
you
too.
Gotta get it.
That bowl that makes it a maze
to
slow them down, because Renji would eat so fast, and then they get air in their stomach.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Man, some of those dogs eat fast, man.
Man, I wish there was something in life or a meal in life that would just make me forget all etiquette and dignity, and I just eat it like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
man.
Hey, Pat, we got a couple minutes before the top of the hour. We'll take a break. Brent Beard should join us. Hey, I don't want to put you on the spot. You worked the Gator basketball game. I felt a little bit for UNF. They caught Florida playing great ball. They got beat bad.
They did, man.
Did you find anything out about Florida's program? Anything while you're down there?
No.
It's good. They're just good, man. They're just good, right?
Anything special? No. They're just good, man.
It's good.
So what's impressive about that game, like I said earlier,
right?
UNF, they get up a lot of threes and layups. That's what they're about. This Florida team, like, they really executed their scouting.
Oof.
Whatever the scouting was, because UNF, like, they're still going to get shots up, but as far as like good quality, like threes, UNF was trying to run sets, and Florida, what was really impressive, Florida's big guys too, they didn't guard well on the ball against UNC.
Okay.
That kid Jackson and RJ Davis were killing Condon and Houck and Chandler on the perimeter. They really shut them down. They switched 1 through 5, and I was like, man, these dudes knew what they needed to do, and everybody is executing it.
When you say switch, what does that mean?
So typically, if you have a big man, a 4 or 5, and they're, you want them to be quicker guys that, are capable of playing good defense and want to. But if you got an undersized 5 man, like, and they're not even undersized, but let's say you got a guy that's like 6'8", 6'7".
Okay.
As your 5 man.
Okay.
Every pick and roll situation, you're going to switch. So if the 5 man comes to screen for the 1, you switch. And they were switching everything.
Now, switching means the big is taking the big?
No, the big will be taking the guard.
Then
so there is a disadvantage now for the point guard, and now the point guard's guarding the 5 man. And the 5 man, his bread and butter is being in the paint. Easier shot.
Carolina had RJ Davis and Cadeau. Somehow they kept getting, and they're small, quick guys.
Yeah,
they kept getting those guys on Condon and Houck and those guys.
Yeah,
and they went by them to the basket.
Yeah, that's why
what do you do there?
I'm like, dang, that's the weak link. That's the chink in the armor.
Yeah.
So obviously it was UNF, but much better on the defensive side from those guys, because they were getting beat a lot.
Yeah.
Especially by that kid Jackson, who he came out of nowhere. He has, I won't lie, I'll give credit. It was some pretty moves.
Yeah.
It were. But they took care of the ball. Will Richard, 6 for 8 from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Denzel Aberdeen had some big shots.
It's fun to see Florida now. They've now, and this is good, Florida now has set their roster right.
Yes.
You know they're 5, and you know they're 3 off the bench, and you know their rotation now. It's fun. I always enjoy that this time of year, Patrick, when I'm watching basketball. It takes, and you played it, man, it can take 3 or 4 weeks to figure out your own personnel. Florida now goes 8 deep, right? They go pretty much 8 deep. They'll bring a guy here and there deeper, but
they have to,
they off the bench, they'll go Aberdeen, Hout, and Alexis, and they'll mix in with the starting 5. That's 8 deep. That's a great 4-man big rotation, and that's a great, in a pinch. Obviously, Clayton runs the game.
I could see him getting in here and there, a little bit.
But you want, your 4 bigs, and that's a nice rotation of 4 bigs. And then obviously you want Clayton running your team. Martin in a pinch can run it, and then Aberdeen comes off the bench and can run your team, right?
I mean, honestly, yeah, man. Like, who else do they really need?
I don't know. That's a nice.
Like, all 3 of those guys all 4 of those guards are in good enough shape to play 40 minutes if they need to. Yeah. But
I mean, I don't want Martin running the 1 much, but if he has to in a pinch, he can run the 1. Clayton runs your 1, and Aberdeen's your backup. That's provided everybody stays healthy. That's a nice rotation, isn't it, of 8 players, isn't it?
Yeah,
Patrick?
Absolutely.
And you can win with that, right?
Yeah, you win with that. Yeah, that's gonna be the squad. That's gonna be it. Stay healthy.
Yeah.
I still wish, man. Gosh darn, Micah Handlogden.
I tell you, man, you see him, Patrick. He bounces around on the bench, man. He jumps around.
I want him out there so badly, man.
Oh my God! What if they had him?
Yeah, because I talked with Coach Hartman.
What did he say?
Carlin Hartman after the game, and I'm like, Coach, man, Ruben, man. I was like,
you hate Ruben.
I'm like, can we get? No, I don't hate Ruben.
You hate him.
He agreed with me.
You hate him.
He agreed with me.
Don't be a hater, Patrick.
He did. I was like, Coach.
He missed the dunk, boy. He missed
it. I saw my man just with this hook shot. Yeah, he missed the dunk. That would have been the play of the game.
What about the pass?
Behind the back?
What about the pass?
My man is just, he looks so stiff, and like he's forcing. I'll say he's going fat, like fighting to get. And I struggled with this before I had to learn it. Your pace is so important. So you fight to get your position.
Yeah.
To get the ball, then you can go quick. You can go make a quick move right away, or you take your time with some dribbles. But that speeding you up when it comes to your jump shot or your hook shot, that needs to be smooth.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time he's going up with his hook shot, he's off balance.
Yeah.
You should jump and land in the same exact spot on your hook shot, unless it's a running hook.
You know what I noticed about Big Ruben, too? Obviously, he is nowhere near their first, second, third, fourth, or fifth option, right?
No, but that's the problem, man. Right, they will not throw the ball into him. If he's under the basket with a guy on his back, they won't give him the ball. And I'm like, dang, Ruben, you got to make some hook shots.
Well, here's what I see with Ruben. He's nowhere near any one of their newest options or best options. So on the 3 or 4 chances he gets, he's got to make the basket.
Got to make it, man.
He's only going to get 3 or 4 chances. And the other day, dude, what about the behind? Was it Condon threw the pass?
I think Condon did the behind the back pass too.
God, and he fumbled it away, Patrick.
He fumbled away and that other pass that was nice too. The touch pass off the rebound, Condon had and gave it to Houck for a layup. That was nice, and that ended up being the assist of the game. But if the behind the back, if Ruben would have finished that, then that would have been number 1 for sure.
So, Patrick, as we get a break here, we'll get Brent on the second hour. Are you going to hate Ruben? Are you going to hate Ruben the whole game, season? Or can you come around on him?
If he does not get better,
and you come around on him.
If he doesn't get better, then I'll be so frustrated.
I'm going to tell Ruben to kick your ass. Is what
I just want him to get. I want him to get better.
You know what? He just needs to kick your ass one day and say, "We'll call it even." Now shake hands, and you guys.
What's wrong with me wanting him to get better?
You've hated him. He's Wake Forest to you. He's Virginia to you. He's Virginia basketball to you.
No, he's not Virginia basketball.
You hate Virginia, don't you?
He's Al Michaels.
You hate. Hey, what? I can't remember. Why did you hate Al Michaels? I can't remember that.
Because he had the worst call on the Jaguars' one of the best wins of the entire history.
The guy was going down the sideline. What happened?
Not that one. The field goal.
Oh,
that one was awful too. Yeah, that was strike 2. Yeah, strike 2. That was against the Saints, I believe. Christian Kirk going down the sideline. That was a great play.
Man. And you said he was in by this much, right? And he said,
"Yes." Oh my gosh, it wasn't even close. Why would he even say that? Yeah, but I don't remember who our kicker was. It was after Lambeau, and yeah, we were down 27-0. Came back and won.
Hey Patrick, out of all the guys in the world you could hate, you hate Al Michaels.
Yeah. Doesn't Al Michaels have like a young child? Isn't he like a super old dad?
I don't know. Do you hate that? Does that make you mad?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like
Why?
Robert De Niro is 81 years old and he has like a four-year-old child.
Do you hate that?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Why do you hate that? What does that have to do with Patrick Young? Why do you hate that?
That poor kid. They're not going to have like a normal childhood.
Patrick.
By the time this kid is 10 years old, De Niro's going to be like 88. You think he's going to be able to wrestle with him and take him to all these games and all these places and AAU I don't know.
I want to start a new movie. I want to call it God Almighty 2 starring Patrick Young. You're God Almighty.
Wasn't there
Patrick, why are you so mean, Patrick?
No, it'd be the third one. There was Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty. So it's got to be Patrick Almighty.
Patrick Almighty.
Yeah. I love that. I loved them. Dude, man, those were great movies.
You're mean, Patrick. You're so mean.
The Dinner for Schmucks, Terry.
Yeah.
That was one of our trivia questions. You have to watch Dinner for Schmucks.
Hey, Patrick, as we get a break, I hope when you and I are not around each other, you don't hate on me like you hate on some of these people. Man, you hate Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and all these. You hate.
I like Al Pacino.
You hate Al Michaels and all these guys.
I like Al Pacino. He's great.
Al Michaels, I mean, you hate him.
Oh yeah.
Don't hate on me. Man, you got a mean streak in you, Patrick.
I love Kirk Herbstreit. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, I heard he got mean. He got mean, I heard.
Yeah,
about Indiana? Did. Was it about Indiana?
It was about Ohio State.
Ohio State, yeah.
Ohio State. He said the 30 or 40,000 fringe nut psycho fans or whatever that creates this narrative about.
All right. Hey Patrick, be nice. Let's take a break. Be nice. Hey, Brent Beard, we hope to have Brent Beard on the other side. He's the nicest human being in the world. Patrick, do not be mean to Brent Beard on the other side, okay? Be nice. Let's take a break. Oh, cloudy, cold-looking day hovering above downtown Jax Vegas. Coming back live on a Monday from Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Man, there's that same shot. Cold looking aerial view of Jackson, Vegas. Late December the 23rd, a couple days away from Christmas. I guess it's supposed to be kind of cold. Patrick, nice hat. You got your new hat on there. Is that a...
Yeah, switch it up.
What is that, an American flag? I like it. Like it a
American
lot.
flag, that's it.
What about my hat? You didn't say anything about my hat, huh? Ain't like that. Huh?
Yeah, you don't wear it much. You wear hats much because you got some good hair. That's why.
Yeah, I got good hair. You know what this is? This is like if you've ever seen the group AC/DC, the lead singer Brian John. He kind of wears a hat like this. So I'm trying out to be the singer for AC/DC. Back in Black, huh?
Terry, I don't think you can sing.
You shut your filthy mouth. Brent Beard, you listen. You hear how mean he is, Brent Beard? You hear how mean he is?
I'm being real. I don't think you can sing.
I don't have to sing. It's rock and roll. You don't have to sing. You said be cool. Brent Beard. A gallon of Sex Panther cologne. A gallon to get me through the whole year. Can you imagine me with a gallon of Sex Panther? Oh, Patrick.
That will certainly last you the rest of your life.
A gallon of Sex Panther. Oh, it wouldn't be fair to the young ladies out there, Patrick. It wouldn't be fair.
What pheromones are in there?
Hey, Brent Beard, what do you think? 4 games in, none of them were real. I thought Texas Clemson was a good game.
Where are you, Brent? I can't see your face.
I think. Hear how mean he is, Brent?
I can't see him. I want to see Brent's face.
I can't see him either, but I know he's handsome. He's a handsome man.
Chino. There you go.
Yes. We'll dial you up here in a second. Brent,
Yeah,
I
go
thought Clemson, Texas was a pretty good game. I thought Clemson acquitted themselves
That's
pretty
fine.
well. The other three games weren't very competitive. What were your thoughts? Obviously, the committee's getting ripped on right now. Indiana probably wasn't the pick. SMU was, gosh, did they stink or did they just have self-inflicted wounds? What are your thoughts? Pick it up anywhere you want to go. The first four games of the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure SMU should have been there to begin with.
Maybe, yeah.
Frankly, and you got to wonder about Indiana. But the reality is, if you're Indiana, you got double-digit wins, and you're in the SEC or the ACC.
Yeah,
it's hard not to be in there.
It's hard not to be put in. Yeah.
No doubt. Were you guys as surprised by Ohio State as I was? I mean, they just kind of resurrected themselves.
I really was. Patrick, what are your thoughts?
Ohio State, not like that.
Yeah, and I tip my hat to my buddy Jeff Kendall, who's a big Tennessee fan. I told this at the beginning of the show, guys. I want you both to comment. I text Jeff after the game. He's a Tennessee guy. I said, "Man, Ohio State was just better. I mean, they were good, and they were. Sometimes the other team is just better." And they were at home, and they probably haven't played that well all year.
No,
I think Tennessee just caught Ohio State on a bad night, I think.
Yeah.
Patrick, what do you think? About the same?
I'm not sure just the moment and what that loss has meant to this Ohio State team, having a chance of redemption at home.
Of Michigan, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
And, from what I've heard over after this, even before the game, was that Tennessee should be content with making it to the playoffs because they didn't have great expectations going into the season. So this is it's a win.
Yeah.
You're in that first 12 group that went to the playoffs in history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Brent, it's easy from 2,000 miles away now revisionist history looking into it, but that might have been a tough night to catch Ohio State. As Patrick just said, they stunk it up against Michigan at home.
Yeah.
Their last time in front of the public, Ohio State's last time in front of the public, that you say what you want. They 13-10 or whatever that game was, they stunk it up at home against Michigan, and they had 3 weeks to just stew on that. And their fan base chewed them out, and college football chewed them out. That might have been just a really tough spot.
And Penn State wins the Big Ten.
Yeah, sure.
Well, and you guys are right. I mean, as far as Ohio State, Tennessee, Ohio State was so conservative against Michigan. They ran right up the middle. That's Michigan's strength. They didn't try to throw the ball around. But they got aggressive from the get-go. They were up 21-0 before people were almost comfortable in their seats. The other problem with Tennessee is Dylan Sampson the SEC leading rusher had a hamstring trying to play in it. And Pat, I don't know if you've ever had a hamstring and try to play in it, but I understand it's just almost impossible. Yeah. And then Squirrel White and Brew McCoy were hurt.
Yeah.
Too. So you add all that stuff together, and Nico is still, frankly, a freshman or a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
So it was you put all that in the hand, draw it out. It was a bad night for Tennessee.
And Pat, I played a lot of sports when I was young. I had the twisted ankles from playing baseball. I had the sore arm. You just throw so much, your elbow and arm hurt. I got hit by a lot of pitches. I never had a hamstring issue. Did you, Pat? And I don't know what it was like. I don't know what it's like.
Sure I
never had a hammy. I never had a hammy.
I'm sure I tweaked it at some point in my life, but
I never did.
Nothing outstanding.
It must be bad.
I remember pulling my groin.
Yeah.
That one, that was awful.
Not good. Not
every
good.
step. Any pushing or slowing down, pushing
what
off.
What a shame, because Dylan Sampson, the running back for Tennessee, through about week 8 or 9, I mean, he was on a fast track to go to New York.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Yes. I mean, and he got banged up. He had a big season. Brent, I want to go back to Tennessee real quick. And Pat and I talked about this a moment ago. My big concern, if I was Tennessee fan, and tell me if I'm reading too much into this, my big concern would be Nico. My problem with Nico is I don't think he got any better as the season progressed. I think Nico the other night was the same Nico as week 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Am I reading too deep? I don't think – you look at a guy like Lagway, he's still got a long way to go, but Lagway's getting better, and you can see it week.
Yeah.
Nico, my concern if I was a Tennessee, he just looks like the same Nico week 2 than he was Nico week 13.
Yeah, if you're a great quarterback, you're going to raise the talent level and get things out of these other players around you that other quarterbacks aren't. But again, he's young. I get that.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. The other problem is Tennessee cannot win a true road game. Under Heupel, that has been a real problem for them, and it continues to be a problem. I think Pat's right. They not a whole lot was expected out of them in the beginning. I mean, they had a fine year. They made the playoffs. They deserve credit for that. But at the same time, so look, overall, what they need to do now, heading into not this week but next week, they need to reseed this thing. You can't, guys. You can't have probably your two best teams in Oregon and Ohio State playing in the quarterfinal.
Yeah. Right.
What is that about?
Yeah. One of those guys, or Oregon or Ohio State is going home.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday by
it'll be a great game, but
by 9:30 at night. By 9:30 at night not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, because they're in the Rose Bowl at 5. Yeah. By 9:30, 10 o'clock, one of those teams is on a plane heading home to put the pads and helmets away for the year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In the quarterfinals, Patrick, as he said, in the quarterfinals, guys. I still don't know how good Notre Dame is. They literally have played a really, really soft schedule. How either one of you guys jump in? I want both of you. How is Notre Dame any good? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, they can run the ball well. That the Love kid who had the 98-yard run was certainly impressive.
That was nice.
Now we don't know about Leonard Riley as far as how good he is, and I don't think they don't have great receivers, frankly. But that's a pretty good matchup with Georgia. And again, Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah,
has thrown a total of 51 passes in his life, but that's still going to be a strength.
I'll take Georgia, Patrick. I'll take Georgia right now, Gunnar Stockton or not. I'll take Georgia right now in the Sugar Bowl over Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame any good, Patrick? Have you seen? I haven't seen them show me they're any good.
I
don't know.
I can't come to a conclusion yet on that. Well, this is going to be obviously will be their best test that they've had all season.
Yeah. And you also guys, we also look at a team like, and I don't want to take away from this team. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but I look at a team like Arizona State and I go, holy guacamole, you look up and they are in the quarterfinals. There are 8 teams left. And I didn't know what a Scooby-Doo Scatterboo was 4 weeks ago. I didn't know what Scatterboo was. How did they not only
Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, they found themselves in the playoffs. Brent, they got a bye, and they're in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they are, who they are, where did they come from?
Well, this is part of the problem.
They were projected to finish last. In their conference.
Yeah, which they've had. Look, they've had an amazing season. I certainly agree,
and they're pretty good.
I certainly agree with that. But I mean, guys, at the same time, they really need to do away with the buys. I don't know if they will, but that needs to happen. I think they could get bombed by Texas.
Yeah.
And Quinn Ewers is not great right now, but if Weisner can run the ball and their defense is playing well, I think they can win certainly that game. But I mean, the committee's gotten a lot of criticism in a lot of ways. A lot of that they have deserved, frankly. But they really need to reseed these teams now.
And here's another team, guys. And Pat, I'll let you lead off with this one. Here's another team that what I just described with Arizona State, you kind of look up and you go, "Wow, Arizona State's in the quarterfinals." I didn't know one player on their team until 4 weeks ago. Obviously, I know Genty with Boise State, but if Genty was not on Boise, if Boise State did not have a Heisman Trophy candidate, right? If they didn't have a guy in the Heisman race, they still had the type of season. I think half of America would be saying, "Why is Boise State in the playoff this deep?"
Yeah,
I think the Genty thing has kept Boise State from catching a lot of flack. And how about that? Boise State looks up playing as a group of 5, and they are one upset win over Penn State, who's very pedestrian on offense. They're one upset away from the semifinals, guys.
Yeah, that's amazing. Which would be the Final Four, basically.
The Final Four is right.
And that would happen. And they've got a Penn State team that's not going to.
They're not going to score a lot.
You need to stretch the imagination. So, and by the way, have you guys seen the overnight numbers?
No, I have not. Tell us.
Tennessee, Ohio State, 6 point. Okay, think about this a minute. 6.3. Indiana, Notre Dame, 5.7. And Clemson, Texas is 3.6. And oh boy, SMU, Penn State's a 3.1.
Wow. And that was a nooner, right? Was that a game?
Yes. But I can tell you the advertisers didn't sign up for that.
For the 3-1?
Yeah. And now the overall numbers aren't out yet. They'll be out probably today or tomorrow. But you know good well the advertisers did not, that they were not looking those numbers and see.
Well, Pat, I will say this of those numbers, and obviously I don't know what 6'3", 5'7", 3'6", 3'1" are. Obviously 3'1" is the lowest, and that was SMU Penn State. Pat, I will say this. Even if it was an NFL game, Saturday at noon would be a hard pull, wouldn't it? For any, Saturday at noon is hard to get a big audience sitting in front of a TV. What do you think? Saturday at noon.
Saturday at noon? Yeah.
3:30, 7:30, 8:45. That's one thing.
I like
Saturday
4:30.
at noon.
4:30 sounds great.
By the way, Saturday at noon, holiday season, people traveling.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's Brent. Do you know what?
My screen was very blurry. My connection. I see your hat now. It looks nice. Yes, I can.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I couldn't tell what the style was, but I can see it there now.
The style is really cool, guy.
Yeah. That's
cool
one of mine for Terry.
Brent, do you know? I don't want to put you on the spot. Is 6.3 Tennessee Ohio State? Is that a good number?
Well, here's what I'm taking from that. And if I'm wrong, we'll go over it.
Correct.
My understanding is that is 6.3 million and 3.6 million.
Okay.
Look, the numbers that we talked about all season long, there were games like Georgia, Texas that had 13 million.
Okay.
Alabama, Tennessee had 10 million.
Now, don't forget, 2 of those games were on
TNT.
That doesn't help. How about that, Patrick? Noon on TNT.
What in the world?
Come on. If you put the NFL on noon TNT, you got to believe that number is going to be smaller just because it's noon on on TNT. I will defend the college football games. I'll defend a little bit. Everybody's ripping in the committee. Everybody's ripping in the 4 games that weren't competitive. I will challenge anybody. Go back and look at the NFL, and the NFL does it much more legitimate than college right now. The NFL at least does their playoff with on-field record. That's how you get in. The college football world is still a committee, and we hate that.
Yeah.
But I will say this, as close to doing it right as the NFL does, there have been many wild card rounds in the NFL that have been duds.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The games have been terrible. As a matter of fact, I noted about 16 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There have been a bunch of Super Bowls that are done.
Was
Right, they have been.
was that the worst one?
I mean, 35-10, 32-14, 38-9, 46-10, 39-20, 42-10, 55-10, 52-17. I mean, there have been many NFL playoff seasons that you've had terrible games. So before you just bury college football, I want to point that out. Is that fair, guys?
Well, I do think the next round, well, Lord, it'd have to be better. It couldn't be worse.
Yeah.
But frankly, I mean, you still got some good games. But the reality of it is, and look, I know that people have been ridiculed for saying this, and I don't care. But I can tell you right now, Alabama, South Carolina, and Ole Miss, any of the 3 of them would have taken SMU to the woodshed. And would have done the same thing for Indiana.
I'm not so sure Miami wouldn't have beat SMU too.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not so sure Miami would have. Guys, I want to throw this out, and this is with all due respect to Georgia. Obviously, I watched both Georgia-Texas football games, all 8 quarters. I watched it. You watched it. Patrick, you watched it. We all watched it. With that said, guys, help me think about what's in the back of my brain. Right now, I know Georgia has beaten Texas twice this year.
Yes.
Why do I feel like Texas is the best team playing right now? I don't know why. Now, I don't know if they ever play up to their potential, but I think if everybody played up to their potential, I think Texas is the best team going. Everybody doesn't always play up to their potential, though.
The rhythm that Texas had before Quinn Ewers got hurt, they just never consistently matched that.
Never got it back.
Yeah. I mean, and that Texas team, I think if that injury didn't happen, Quinn Ewers, he'd be in New York.
Yeah.
Well,
Brent, why do I feel that way? If everybody's playing up to their potential, I know Georgia's beat them twice. They beat them everywhere they play them.
Yeah,
but I still feel Texas is the best team if everybody played 100%. I've seen.
Well, this is why. It is because when you compare, Texas has a better quarterback. Texas probably has better running backs. And Wisner, particularly when he's playing well, Texas certainly has better wide receivers.
Yeah.
They don't drop the ball nearly as much. And Texas, frankly, has got their front 7 probably is as good as Georgia.
Yeah.
Also, but I think I've heard Pat say this. There are times the sum is better than the individual parts.
I agree with that.
And that is why Georgia's beaten Texas twice.
Yep, that's well said.
Because they are when you look at help me, Pat, the totality of that Georgia team is better than the stars and the individualism of Texas. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't like, but how big is that difference?
Yeah.
And obviously it matters a lot, recruiting and surprisingly, Texas still has some pretty solid, like the third string guy, because I know 2 of their main first 2 running backs were injured out for the year.
It's amazing what they've done to running back. It really is.
It really is.
DJ Baxter's out. The next guy,
Crazy,
Wisner and Gray. It's unbelievable. I think what Brent was saying, and I want to see if I can throw my 2 cents in. And I totally respect what he said and agree with him. I think what Brent was saying when it comes to Texas and Georgia, when I look at that matchup, let's just say Georgia defense, Texas offense on the field, they're snapping the ball. I would probably say there's 11 guys on the field, okay, 11 positions, okay. The 4 best players when Georgia is defending Texas on offense, the 4 best players, I would say, are Texas Longhorns, but the next best 7 players are Georgia defenders.
Yeah.
Some versus whole. But
Yeah.
I know Georgia's beat them twice. I watched every snap of both games. But damn it, and by the way, Georgia and Texas could only play in the championship game. They're in different brackets.
Right.
If they played again, I swear to God, I'd pick Texas, barring a major injury.
I think I would pick Texas too. You have to beat a team 3 times
in football.
Football, that's hard, man.
Well, and guys, look, here's another way of looking at this, and we've all seen this, but the honest truth is, there have been times this year Georgia's been awful. They were frankly, Florida should have beat them. Kentucky should have beat them in that 13-12 thing, and Georgia Tech certainly should have beat them.
Absolutely.
You can't fool. I'm still heated about that. Haynes Keene's gonna fumble when they have the chance to run up the clock.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I want to bring up a team, and I'm going to pull Miami and Florida State into this, and the ACC as a whole. I think how do I phrase this?
Man, some of this crap is scripted.
You think?
Some of this crap is scripted, man.
Hey, I think Clemson, and I know they went down by 14 and their season's over. I think what Clemson has done the last month or so, to me, I think Clemson kind of and Dabo kind of breathed new life into their program. They resurrected themselves. I don't think that's good news for FSU, Miami, and the ACC. I see Clemson catching their breath a little bit. I was impressed with Clemson. Their fight the other day.
Yeah.
Texas was good. They're playing in front of 105,000 Longhorn fans. Texas was.
May I intervene here for 1 second?
Go ahead, Pat.
So, as a fan of football and trying to understand circumstances and times are different of what you have to get done. There's not much time left in the fourth quarter. We gotta go. We gotta get this first down to keep things going. Cade Klubnik on 4th and 9 threw it to a guy that was maybe 1 yard across the line. He caught it and he got cracked instantly. Game over. Like, you have to find a way to get if it's an incompletion, okay, but how hard is it to get a first down when you're not already behind the line in a situation like that? Gosh, man.
Yeah,
that drives me crazy.
Brent, am I overstating? I think Clemson's program, even though they're done now and they're collecting the helmet and the pads, I think they had a nice little I know they kind of backed in a little bit, but I think that they got there, they represented. I don't think that's great news for the ACC, Miami, or FSU. I think Clemson might be back a little bit starting next year.
Well, look, Miami and FSU are rebuilding next year.
Totally agree.
I mean, for FSU, it's almost a total rebuild. And Miami without Ward, here's what is going to make Clemson even more dangerous. I'm glad y'all are sitting down for this, but Dabo has actually got 2 players from the portal.
In the portal. Yeah, Patrick was talking about that. Yeah, Clemson's finally figured out, man, if everybody's doing it, you better do it.
There's no shame in doing it.
I mean, well said, Patrick. Did you say there's no shame in doing it?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
This isn't like some crazy loophole thing that you're, this isn't like, having a loophole figuring out how to not pay taxes. This is
well, see, Dabo thought he was being untrue. He was stepping out on. I'm using a couple of illustrations here.
I know what you're saying.
On the high school seniors.
Yeah, wait a minute. I talked to your mom. I talked to your dad. I talked to you in your living room.
Right.
And now I'm going to recruit over you. I don't want to do that. It's kind of what I said.
Right.
But could you imagine him sticking to his guns if he would have maintained or, had some great success? That would definitely affect how everyone else operates.
Right.
Certainly impact the way everybody else operates.
Yeah. But the great coaches can build around the portal by cherry picking the portal and building your team through high school seniors. Now, Pat, I know he wouldn't have liked it, but I can tell you one thing: Billy Donovan would have done that. I think if I'm wrong, tell me. Because good coaches,
or he would have gotten out of college.
I mean, if you take the money part out of it, and just being able to, the transfer rule in the way that it is, I think without a doubt, I think it's because it's so at the same time, based off of how much money you can get at this situation versus that situation, instead of I just want to play for you, coach. That's why I want to transfer the position. I gave it a real try at this spot. It wasn't just because I wasn't good enough, and just or I don't know, just whatever reasons that you don't need any real justification at all for transferring.
Let me throw this out.
I think Coach Donovan absolutely wouldn't love that at all.
Let me throw this out, though. In an ultra competitive industry, which college football / college athletics is, why? And I'll give you two examples, but why would you handcuff yourself, one arm behind your back versus the other people you're competing against with two hands, right? Why would you handcuff yourself? And I'll give you a couple of examples. For the longest time, and Pat, you may not be quite old enough to remember this, Brent does, Notre Dame never would redshirt, right? Notre Dame never redshirt, right? Notre Dame, you had to hit the ground running at Notre Dame and play. They wouldn't redshirt and hold. Well, at some point, everybody else did, so all of a sudden your roster was younger, right? There's a benefit to redshirting and getting older and stronger and bigger. Yeah. Notre Dame finally came around because they went, wait a minute, everybody's doing it. We're tying one hand, we're punching with one fist.
Right.
The other example is the African-American athlete. Think about the Texas Western basketball. Bear Bryant finally in football said, we have the country, the South is now starting to sign African-American athletes. Right. We have to do that, or we're fighting with one fist and they're fighting with two, right? I mean, so I think Dabo finally has looked up and said, why would I handcuff myself if I'm competing? And I think it's a smart move. Now, that doesn't mean he has to like it.
Right. Of course not.
But if he doesn't like it so much, then he needs to get out of the industry.
Yeah, and I don't think, his main core values and things, I don't think he has to compromise those at all. It's just going to be during his recruiting process. Yeah. Uphold your standards in those positions. And if you don't think it's the right fit, don't get sucked into that. And if the kid's making it all about money, then that's probably not the kind of character person you want.
And Brent, if Dabo doesn't like everything about the portal and the movement and all, in my opinion, Dabo should get out of the industry instead of hold Clemson hostage, because he is Clemson football. Say what you want, the head coach.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
I think Dabo would need to walk away or adapt, and it looks like he's adapting, doesn't it?
Well, and look, what we've said about Dabo all along, you don't need to go out and get 20 portal guys.
Sure.
All you need is a handful. Sure. At particular places And if you do that, you'll be okay.
Yeah. Brent, hang tight. Let's come back. I'll take a quick break, final break. We'll have a couple minutes left with Brent Beard with a couple of topics, including the Florida football roster. Boy, it looks like Billy Napier, before they get back together in April, he's going to add some bullets to that gun. And boy, Florida football in the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, has taken a turn for the good.
It really
has. Talk about that. Good news possibly on the Todd Golden Title IX investigation front. I don't know if y'all have heard that. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more as we wrap it up on the other side. The Young and Norvelle Show, live on a Monday from Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Back we are, nightfall heading on top of Jax Vegas on a Monday. Cold, kind of not as nasty as it could be as we welcome him back. The temperature's not terribly cold, but boy, just a winter-looking day out.
It's coming.
Long. Yeah, it's going to be.
Winter is coming.
Oh, winter is pretty much coming over here. Patrick Young, Brent Beard, Terry Norvelle. Hey, real quick, guys, I got to get out my favorite athlete of all time by a mile.
I know, man. I thought about you. Yeah.
Nobody ever comes closer than my man, Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson.
My favorite all time. He was a great athlete, great athlete. Could have played football, was a star football player in Los Angeles, went the baseball route. Nobody looked cooler in a uniform, just a great athlete. Passed away over the weekend at the age of 65. Broke my heart. That was my man, guys. Hey, Todd Golden. I don't know if you guys have followed the stuff. Word now is coming out a little bit, leaking out around the Florida Title IX investigative area. The word, it seems to be, Pat, unless you've heard more than I have, it seems to be that Florida's Title IX investigation to the allegations against Todd Golden, maybe cyber stalking and things like this, supposedly Florida's Title IX investigation has found nothing to back up these allegations. I don't know if that means it's over or not over, but yeah, I mean, that's the first I've heard in a few weeks, but supposedly Florida has looked into this and said, we can't find anything to back up these allegations against Todd Golden.
No evidence.
No evidence.
No evidence.
So there you have it. Brent Beard, go ahead, Brent.
Yeah, let me say a couple things about them real quick. I talked to a media member who was at the game Friday.
Okay.
And he said there'll be more coming out in January. Now he didn't say if it was negative or positive.
Or positive, yeah.
But that's your point. By the way, this just came out, and I'll give John Rothstein credit for this.
Okay.
He covers it pretty closely, and it's the SEC in basketball is staying at 18 league games.
Okay.
And will not expand to 20 during the 25-26 college basketball season. My stars, guys, you're in the best league in the country. It's tough enough with 18. Help us on this, Pat. Why in the world would you want to go to 20?
That's a lot of games, man. A lot of conference games.
Why would you want to go up?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I feel like certain games, maybe they feel bad when designing the schedule that
I know what you're going to say.
Every team only has 3 games where they play a team twice.
Yeah. So it does hurt. I knew you were going to say that.
At home, and I want to see that. We don't have that.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, I would push back the other way, Brent. Maybe, get these, but, each school handles their schedule, but like challenge them to have less non-conference games and maybe we start conference sooner.
Well, that's an ideal. Yeah.
But I knew Pat was going to say, unfortunately, you're going to have non-return games that just like Florida doesn't go to Kentucky this year.
Yeah.
Florida doesn't go to I'm sorry, Kentucky doesn't come to Florida this year.
Yeah.
Alabama doesn't come to Florida. You're just going to have to live with that some years. And some years it'll balance out because some years Kentucky may be terrible. You never know, or vice versa. Speaking of Florida, they've crept up to number 6 in the poll because Kentucky I saw a lot of the Kentucky-Ohio State game over the weekend in basketball. Gosh darn. I must have caught Kentucky on a bad night. They looked terrible. Ohio State.
Yeah, what happened? I couldn't believe it.
Ohio State drilled them in basketball. Brent Beard, real quick.
Did Johnson play?
I'm not sure. When I saw the game was out of control. Brent, we've got 2 minutes left. Florida football has already started really, really adding to their roster. They get the receiver servant out of UCLA. They get the 5-star who got out of his signing because of family issues from Tampa, Dallas Wilson, a couple of big-time receivers. They get the rush in from Massachusetts, the quarterback from Charlotte. Napier's hit the ground running at the end of the season.
He really has. This Deshaun Purdy from Charlotte, I mean, he threw for nearly 2,000 yards. Now, look, Langway's going to be your cornerback.
Sure
but
he is.
You've got to have a full – here's what's funny about this. The highest graded true freshman deep passer is Lagway. The guy who's number 2 is Deshaun Purdy from Charlotte.
And Patrick, we've got 1 minute left, Patrick. I'm going to throw this out. I'm not jinxing anybody. I love Lagway. Lagway does strike me as a guy that might be a little injury prone. I could see him tweaking an ankle here and tweaking a hammy there. You better have somebody to fill in behind Lagway, I think, over a long physical season.
Yeah, without a doubt. I agree with you there. I don't know, man. He seems to be I'm thinking that maybe after that the hamstring injury, I'm thinking that he's gonna try to protect himself a lot more.
Maybe he just learns to play the game a little safer and not cautious.
Yeah.
You know, there's cautious.
Get the ball out of your hand quicker. That'll solve a lot of your problems.
Yeah, there's cautious
Really?
and there's safe. Guys, good job on a Monday. Appreciate everybody jumping in. Brent, of course, Patrick,
Thank you, Brent.
as well.
Absolutely.
Brent, we'll get together as the week plays out. That'll wrap it up. Tomorrow we'll be live in the heart of Mandarin. Come by if you're in the Jointon Creek area. Mandarin's location of Hurricane at Jointon Creek. We'll be there 4 to 6 tomorrow. A lot to get into as we are winding down the NFL regular season, and bowl games are right around the corner. More bowl games. That'll do it. Have a great Monday, everybody.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because When I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143.